I'd like to drill a hole in this piece. What can I do?
It's going to be difficult.
Have you ever found yourself in a similar situation? So far along in a project that it is difficult to go back to fix mistakes or oversights? Here is the secret to avoid it. Have an accurate work plan and a realistic time frame. Planning the production steps is important in developing a relevant technological design process. To plan the construction of a technical object efficiently, let's use a table like the following. Ideally, we should plan the time around the different construction steps, identifying the materials and tools needed, and dividing the tasks among the work team. The first planning step is measuring and laying out the components. It involves measuring and recording the different components or parts of the object and tracing reference points onto the materials. For the construction of our music box, we will have to measure and lay out the parts that form the structure of the box.
Also, you have to plan where you must drill to attach the crank and the gear.
Let's not forget the metal strips.
Here's how we could organize it.
The second step is machining. It is the step when we form the object's components.
It is when we have to cut out the parts and drill the holes.
Since we planned at least 30 minutes for cutting, we could do it together.
Perfect, then we can drill the holes.
The third step is finishing the parts. During this step, we can, for example, sand and paint the parts. The fourth step is assembly. As the name suggests, it is the step when the parts are assembled to complete the final object. During this step, it is advisable to check the dimensions of the parts and if the object works properly. If a component is defective, only the defective part is redone rather than the entire object. The last step is disassembly. In some situations, it may be practical to plan on how to disassemble certain parts to make the object easier to transport, especially if the object is large. Luckily, our music box is small. We won't have to take it apart, but we still need a box to carry it in. Planning the steps in a logical order enables us to establish a schedule, to plan simultaneous construction, and to avoid unnecessary steps such as drilling a component of an object that is already assembled. In other words, when we have a table, we can see the steps to complete, the time allotted to accomplish them, the material and the tools needed, and the person responsible for each task. When planned well, the production steps usually lead to more logical and efficient construction. A well-defined plan will certainly ensure a successful implementation of the technological process.